Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Champagne Sharks live stream. We haven't been on in a few days. Me and Vida are live if you're on Twitch, YouTube, or on Periscope. So we actually connected to Periscope now, which is pretty dope.
Periscope on Twitter?
Yeah. So we're connected
cool.
to Periscope, so you can watch us on all three. And I'll be connecting on the Facebook page, so we can go live with Facebook. But for everybody that knows who we are, you guys know what time it is. And like, share, subscribe, hate on us, talk about my mustache, my bald head, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. Just say something and do something.
Don't say nothing mean about me. Don't say nothing mean about me. I'm very sensitive.
Yeah, right. And also check out the Patreon. Go to our Patreon page. Boom, right there. And become a patron and check us out on SoundCloud, Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, we're everywhere. Oh, and also we got masks coming on August 20th. If I have the link, I will post it in the areas, the show notes or wherever where we're gonna have masks. We have mugs that's coming out, coffee mugs. I'm advocating for us to get Champagne Shark condoms, but T is like no, because we are not fans of safe sex. So I'm joking. We will have Champagne Shark condoms one day. I don't know. But yeah, man. What up, Black Mariner? What's cracking? Champagne Communista, what's up? How you guys doing? It says there's 42 people in here, but only 2 comments. But hey, it's all good for those that are just watching. And I got Vida with me, of course.
Hey.
And oh yeah, you can find me on Twitter at LazarusLivesX3. And Vida, where can people find you at?
Lifestar Media on Twitter.
Excellent. So we haven't been. When's the last time we were streaming on here?
What?
When was the last time we were streaming?
Ooh.
A week?
Maybe about a week ago, a little less than a week ago. No, yeah, about a week ago.
Okay, maybe about a week ago. We haven't been on in a while. At least it seems like it's been a while. But we have some topics that we wanted to bring up to talk about today. First of all, before we even get started, I wanted to talk about people talking bad about Portland. If you've never been to Portland,
oh my God,
let me get this off my chest. Let me get this off my chest, okay? If you've never been to Portland, shut the fuck up, okay? Don't talk about Portland if you've never been here. It's weirder than you think it is, and it's a little more radical than you think it is. So all y'all country ass people talking about Portland, you're gonna have to come see me because there's gonna be a problem. What's up, 2008 B Scott? How you doing? So yeah, because I seen people on there always talking about, yeah, if people in Portland, they really want to do something for Black Lives Matter, what they need to do is this. I'm like, man, have you ever been to Portland? No, I ain't never. Okay, then shut the fuck up. You ain't never been to Portland. So
okay.
That was my rant.
You swear though, like you were so protective about Portland. I saw the tweet that I had retweeted that you and I argued about. You guys can go on Twitter and find it for like however long we argued about it. I really didn't think he really didn't say anything about Portland. He literally only talked about this one organization.
That organization is not even real. So I look at it like this.
And that's kind of low key the point that he was making.
No, that ain't the point he was making. A lot of people have.
What do you think the point was he was making?
I don't think he was really trying to make a point, because this is my whole thing. And I don't think I was coming across. I wasn't making it plain. People like to talk about Portland because of a lot of things, a lot of reasons why people like to talk about Portland. Mainly is because of the white liberals and blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, I get it. But a lot of times people be out here talking trash about Portland because it's something that they either like it or they hate to like it. It's almost like Ice Cube said, the nigga you love to hate. That's kind of like Portland. You know what I'm saying? Portland is the nigga you love to hate. You know what I mean? You love Portland, but you hate it, you know? And I think a lot of times when people start talking about these organizations that exist here in Portland, if they want to do this, they're supposedly going to do this. Man, we already know that all these other, if we know that Black Lives Matter is fake, right? We all can agree that the organization, not the chant or what people are meaning by it, the organization is fake. So why would
I can't co-sign that.
You're not going to co-sign that Black Lives Matter is fake?
The organization? No.
No, what I mean by, not the organization is fake. What they say and what they do are two different things.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are things that I do critique about them and I have issues with, such as I do think they exclude the very group that is mostly affected by police violence. In fact, if you're talking about that specifically, I'm 100% with you. I actually agree with that. And the thing is, they have been called out on it before. So that's something I do have a critique of. As far as it being a fake organization, I can't say that because I think because in LA, they're extremely active. And, each place has like their own sect or version of Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives Matter LA is extremely active. There's a lot of work that the organizers that are in Black Lives Matter and in like sister organizations that they have done, such as stopping the county from building another prison. And instead using those funds towards other services, community services. That's something that they won. And mind you, LA has the biggest prison system on earth, and they were about to build another prison. So there are things they're actually doing, and there's actual work being done. So I can't.
So that's my thing is that because they all function differently, but they're all under this umbrella of quote unquote Black Lives Matter.
I mean, all I'm saying is that there are organizations that are doing great work, and they're actually actively doing that work, and then there are some that aren't. So I can't say that it's a fake organization. I will say there are people who use the name Black Lives Matter, and they're not necessarily affiliated with the founders or anything like that.
That's what I'm saying.
And those exist, and they may or may not be doing great work. I don't know, but I'm just because that Black Lives Matter tag is put on so many things. Definitely, some are going to be fake, and some are going to be real.
But that's what I'm saying. You gotta, when you are represented, just like if you're a gang member, you could be in San Antonio and be a blood, but people just hear blood. You can say, "Oh no, in San Antonio we do it like this." No, you a blood. So at the end of the day, you gotta fall on that sword. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, no, you gotta fall on the sword if you're gonna rep this
organization. What the hell you were talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was like, no, you can't just say I'm repping something, but I ain't like them. No, you gotta be accountable for the whole thing.
No, I was so lost because you were going off, and I was like, "What the fuck is he even talking about?" But I get it now. Now I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like it's like when we're talking about the Greek organizations. When you were in the sorority or fraternity, I understand that all different chapters might be different, but when you say you A Phi A and these niggas over here is doing some weirdo shit, you gotta follow the sword for them.
You know what's funny? Because that's low key how I kind of got out of calling myself even a feminist.
Right.
When I initially believed myself to be a feminist, and I do believe in those same ideals that I believed in before, but I realized the ideals I had wasn't necessarily shared by everyone who labeled themselves.
Yeah, right.
Because the way I saw it was Black feminism, and I didn't care about white bitches, but Black feminism was about addressing white supremacy and in regards to things that specifically affects Black women, such as maternal health, right?
Absolutely.
That was pretty much how I was looking at Black feminism. I was also looking at it as a space of unity, especially being someone who was abused by a man. My father beat the shit out of me and my mom, while she was pregnant with me as well. And so I thought those spaces were going to be safe spaces for Black women to heal, and it turned into this anti-Black male thing. And that really, I had to not associate myself with that because, like what you just said, I would have to fall on that sword of all these things that these feminists are saying now that I 100% disagree with, especially people who identify themselves as Black feminists, and they're not on the shit I'm on, they're on some other shit. My perspective to being, if it's a Black woman's issue, it's a Black issue, and Black men should give a fuck about it too. It's a Black men's issue, it's a Black woman's issue, it's a Black people issue, and we should all care about it. So that's where I'm at now. But before, I definitely agree with you on the point about if you're going to label yourself something, pay attention to what the connotations are of that. Even if you don't necessarily,
you might not agree. You might not agree with it.
Exactly.
But if you're gonna rep that, and I mean, as far as me representing Portland, this is where I've lived. I wasn't born here, but this is where I've lived pretty much my whole life. So just like, but I represent the West Coast, and I'll tell people in a minute, I'm biased. I am biased towards the West Coast. I am not ashamed. I'm biased. So if it's somebody from Atlanta or somewhere down south talking about Portland or the West Coast, nah, motherfucker, because you wouldn't like me calling you a country ass motherfucker. Okay, you wouldn't want me calling you all type of country names and calling you all kind of, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want me to do it because I know everybody in Atlanta and Houston ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to start trying to throw that, because I represent a different Portland that doesn't exist. I represent pre-gentrified Portland, which is very similar to Oakland, Seattle, but that Portland doesn't exist anymore. The same way there's certain parts of LA that just don't exist anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like Inglewood does not exist anymore the way it did 20 years ago. So it's like, even though I know it ain't like that, I gotta this fool. I'm happy to be a country, happy to be country. Good for you. I hope you got shoes on. Okay. But you know what I'm saying?
See, that was unnecessary. That was super unnecessary. I apologize on his behalf because that was super extra. That was so extra.
No, 2008 B Scott, you cannot troll. I am the king troll. You guys know how I get down. I love all y'all. No, I love people in Atlanta. I love people in the South Period, especially women in Texas. That's a whole other conversation for another TV show. Okay, because y'all know how I get down on Twitter. Probably 90% of my followers or the women that I talk to is from Texas, like Houston or something like that.
I had a thing for New Yorkers for a long time, and
I did some that you told me about today too. So I created another profile on that Hinge app, and I got my my location down in LA. Slick with it.
So for those of you guys who don't know what we're talking about, I told him what I do on Tinder is, well, I started doing this during quarantine. I set my settings for a whole nother city. So my settings on Tinder are matching me with people in New York and New Jersey.
Right.
So, and I kind of have issues. So don't do it if you're trying to find the love of your life. Don't do that.
Look, this is my man BC. Look, Bryson. I wish Bryson would get on right now, man. This is my dude, man. Me and this dude. This is my boy. Now he in the Bay though. He's not even down south. He in the Bay. He is no longer from the South. He's from the West Coast. He cannot claim the South. He's been out here. How long you been out here, BC? Look, what? 5 years? 5-6 years? And he ain't going back. He's staying on the West Coast. He has no desire to go back. You see what happens when people come out here?
What?
Oh, I'm looking. Are you looking at the comments?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just want to give a shout out to Cannabis Sativa. So, shout out to
who was that was talking about some weed up in here just a minute ago? They said the weed in the Northeast suck.
Well, I'm in LA and my weed is fire.
Yeah, I mean, out here in the West Coast, you ain't got to worry about that. You ain't going over here. I bet you ain't even in that. You in Utah, 2008 B Scott. You ain't even in Atlanta. You in Utah. So you need to be trying to get over this way.
Nobody's trying to go to Utah.
No, we're not trying to go to Utah.
Not black people.
They don't even sell liquor on Sundays in Utah.
Oh no, it's 2020. We
gotta do better.
Past that. What are they called? Blue laws.
Yeah, blue laws. Yeah, or no, dry laws. They call them the dry
laws.
Yeah, dry laws. Yeah,
laws are outdated. Like you can't spit on the sidewalk. You know, shit.
Yeah.
Or like, what was another one? Like you can't have less than $2 in your pocket.
Probably.
Who has that as a law or had it as a law?
Bet you going back to the South from Utah? Man, good luck. I mean, I don't know how you ended up in Utah anyway. I've been to Utah one time. I will say this: Utah is a beautiful looking city, but it's built between a bunch of rocks. I was going through there, going to New Mexico.
I saw Utah from my Las Vegas hotel window.
Right. For real.
Like, who goes to Utah?
Yeah, see, look, man, my boy Bryson even saying, he was like, I tell black folks that shit is different outside Metro Atlanta. That's why I always say, if you in Atlanta, be you in Atlanta, but the rest of that shit is Georgia. And you take that for what it is. It's country.
That's what my brother told me. He said Atlanta is mostly country.
Right.
You think it is.
But it's beautiful, though. It looks beautiful from what I've seen on pictures. I mean, after all the stuff that's been going on, I don't want to go down there right now.
As long as I don't have to be in nature, I'm good.
No, Bryson's supposed to take me to Atlanta. We're supposed to go down there, but with the Rona going on, we're supposed to go down there. And I'm acting goddamn fool if I go down there.
I was supposed to go there this year too. I was supposed to go to a few places. I was supposed to go to North Carolina, Chicago, and Atlanta this year, and all of my trips got canceled.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. She said 2008 B Scott says we can't drink, but these white folks on all type of drugs, and I need the Mormons to save them. Yeah, they own them same drugs out here. So let's get to the topics, man. I want to get to that topic that you was talking about just a minute ago, and I'm glad
Which
everybody
one?
is in here about
Which,
about
the negative, the good one or the bad one? Which one? Or
the
not
bad
bad?
one, the bad one first.
Okay, it's not really bad. We shouldn't have said it that way. But give me 1 second. Let me put this out. Okay, so there was this tweet that I thought was kind of interesting, and so I thought it might be a good conversation. And it had to do with toxicity in relationships. And I'm going to pull that up so I can read it to you. Can you pull it up on your screen? I don't know if you have your.
I'd have to log into Twitter. I don't think I'm logged in.
Okay.
Let me try to log into Twitter real quick.
Okay. No worries if you can't. I'm just going to read it.
Yeah, go ahead. Just read it. Go ahead and read it.
Once I pull it. Okay. So, should I say the person's Twitter name?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
So, this person on Twitter said, "Keep it real, women. If it's not at least slightly toxic, it's not fun, and y'all get bored. Come to the altar and tell the truth." So I thought that was an interesting statement. And I'm interested in hearing, or at least seeing in the chat, what some of your responses to that question is. We're going to ask it again. Not even a question. Let me say this tweet again. "Keep it real, women. If it's not at least slightly toxic, it's not fun, and y'all get bored. Come to the altar and tell the truth." So,
No, but seeing that you a woman and you've dated, this ain't your first rodeo. What do you think about this?
So me personally,
how much truth is that? How much truth is
okay,
in
yeah,
that?
I'll start there because I have a lot of thoughts. So, how much truth is there in this? I can speak for myself, and then I'll speak generally for other women. But first, me personally, no. I don't do slightly toxic, a little toxic, a tad toxic, a dollop, a drop, none of that shit. I don't want no toxicity. Now, the way I look at toxic relationships and having even slightly a little bit of toxic, to me, is just all toxic. So toxic to me is a person who's overly controlling. That's just not cute. Are there women who are in relationships with guys and they think that means that this means that they really love them and they really care about them, they just want them all to themselves? They think that controlling thing might be cute. Me personally, no. So things like that, I don't do toxic. I don't do toxic. Now, do people make mistakes? Do people have issues that they have to work out? And sometimes you're gonna have partners that are gonna have issues that have shit they gotta work out. That's life. Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily make the relationship toxic. When it becomes toxic is when someone's not addressing their shit and it's affecting the relationship in so many ways. In some ways you can't even pay. You don't even notice until it's too late. So I don't want no toxicness in my shit. Now, what I found to be most interesting is that it was targeted towards women. And I was very curious to understand, because me personally, I honestly learned most of my gender perspectives as far as what other people think from Twitter, like and Facebook. Yep. I didn't understand. I don't know gender roles and rules. I wasn't raised in a household I was raised in a really unusual household. I'll just say that. So I don't know certain things. So like in dating. So I didn't date literally until I was 19. And even then it was like a weird thing. It wasn't I wouldn't call it a real relationship. But yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like if you're gonna be in a relationship, it shouldn't be toxic, but I also don't think this is specific to women.
Right.
And I think that's where I take some of the issue with this question. It's not a female thing. There are certain people who like drama in their relationship. I don't even say like, most people don't actually like the stuff. What it is they don't know any different. So that's how I look at it. But what about you from your perspective as a man reading this?
So as a man,
the other part is saying women are lying if they don't admit to this thing that really might not apply to them. I think
not all women want something toxic. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's super corny when people say, yeah. If you say that if women don't, because I know 20% of these women think that, so therefore,
I think what happens is a lot of people think that that statement that person made, it sounds like a statement from somebody who, damn man, it sounds like somebody that has been quote unquote a nice guy. and they feel like if I'm not toxic, you guys don't want a nice guy. You know that whole nice guys finish last type of thing.
Yeah, and
But
I get that if you're a kid, but if you're a grown ass person, you got to be past that belief and that
idea. Yeah. I have a friend who is very shallow, and she only dates guys that look a certain kind of way. And lo and behold, every dude that she dates that look that kind of way has all been fucked up, like toxic. Fuck, she'll be 40 years old in September.
Yeah,
she knows better. She knows better.
Shit, that's really all that is.
So for people that think that you have to be toxic to be with a woman, or a woman wants a dude that has a little bit of toxicity, now this is the thing. That's a slippery damn slope, because how much is too much toxicity? Is a little bit of toxicity because he slapped you one day and only did it once? Is it because he grabbed you by your collar one day but only did it once? Is it because he called you a sorry rotten motherfucker but only did it once? Is it because he cussed your mom out but only did it once? Like, what's the threshold here? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of but that's a young person statement to say something like that, because as a grown man, I'm a grown man. I got boundaries. Because it goes both ways. You hear those dudes that say, "Oh yeah, I like crazy chicks. I like the crazy girls." Man, nah, I don't want nothing crazy.
And so I like what they're saying in the chat room about it being an age thing. And honestly, I would say, yeah, it is an age thing, but I don't think it's an age thing the way people think it is. I think people say age thing and they look at that to mean it's a phase of life that everyone goes through. And that's not the case either. It's not like adolescence, but people who have had certain types of childhoods and relationships with their parents or relationships with the people around them, they only know one way to have a relationship. And so they tend to, I've talked about this every episode I've been on here, attachment theory. Those people who like drama, they're used to being in drama because that's all they've ever probably known. People who, and it might not even be the drama part. It might be, this is the only type of people that seem to give me any type of attention. So I have like low self-esteem. But what happens as you get older, you should be maturing and healing and working on yourself. And so when that's the case, as you mature, you begin to say, okay, I don't need to put up with this shit. I don't want to put up with this shit. I'm a different person now. So how many of us can look at the first few people that we've dated and say that was a mistake? Not because we desired toxic people, not because we had a desire for the bad boy. Sometimes we just really thought that this person was a leader. And we just fell into that trap. You're used to men talking to you a certain way, and you're comfortable in that space. You're used to men not giving you compliments. So you're in a relationship where you don't get any compliments, and then you wonder why you in your feelings every time he looks at somebody else, right? Because we don't realize there's things that are boiling up in us. And then we get into these relationships, and we repeat a lot of the same shit that we're used to. So as we get older, we should be healing from that. I think you're too old to be talking about nice guys finish last. But honestly, if that's the case, everybody in a relationship would be an abusive relationship. If what you're saying is true, it means that nobody ever gets married. Nobody ever gets happy relationships. You sound fucking stupid. So because clearly people are getting married somewhere, and everybody ain't a bad boy. In fact, 99.9% of guys aren't bad boys. But at least 50 of them find somebody. 50.
Yeah, that's the stigma. Yeah, it's a stigma.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
That
it's a stigma, and it's a lot of people that want people to feel sorry for them. You know what I'm saying? If you keep picking bad people, I don't feel sorry for you.
But you're right.
I mean, I don't feel sorry for you, because at the end of the day, dude, like when men in this society, men chase women. That's the way it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if men chase women, we are, at the end of the day, we have the ultimate pick of the type of women we want to go after. So if you keep going after toxic women, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
Is there a lag? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There's a lag.
I hear you. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay, yeah. So if you keep choosing the same type of women, and I know dudes like that. I know dudes that like to date hood rats. And I'm dead serious. They say they like chicks that you would consider a hood rat because they can control them, or because they can, they like that lifestyle. But you gotta accept the shit that comes along with it. So if you like a dude that has a little bit of toxicity, when he busts you in your nose, you got to take that. That comes along with it. Right? Am I wrong?
And also, to be clear, it's not like violence is the only type of toxic relationship that exists, right?
No, I'm just not at all.
In
At
fact,
all.
most
No.
toxicity doesn't happen in the most obvious and most blatant of ways, right? So let's talk, like, let's say, for example,
Right.
whenever it's time to make, let's say, you always end up watching whatever your partner wants to watch. You never get the chance to watch what you want to watch. And then you have other examples of situations like that. You eat wherever they want to eat. You don't. Whenever you try to put some chime in, somehow it always ends up being them every single time, and you begin to build up some resentment. That's toxic because that person may not even realize it.
Yeah.
That's a toxic relationship because it begins to build up resentment. It begins to create all these other problems, and sometimes that person really is selfish and doesn't realize that they're selfish, or maybe a narcissist and doesn't realize they're a narcissist.
Right.
Because they're a little subtle.
Right.
That just seems so like, well, that's not a big deal. It's just a restaurant. It's not a big deal. It's just a TV show. It's not a big deal. They chose the vacation. It's still a vacation, but you never having a say is unhealthy.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true, and that is toxic. I mean, I'll give you an example. Like, even when it comes to like outsiders in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So say like you're dating somebody, and they always got to do stuff with their family, and you're like, I don't have a problem with your family. I just don't want to be around them all the time, and it becomes an issue, and it becomes a wedge in the relationship because they want to be around their family and their mama and their daddy all the time. You're gonna be like, damn, dude, like. So in other words, and then it turns into narcissism. So if I say one time I don't want to hang out with them, now I just don't like them. And they put a guilt trip on you, like you don't like them because you don't want to hang out with them one time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what a lot of people go through, and a lot of people just deal with it. So for another example, T is in the chat. What's up, T? In the chat in paragraphs. So T brought up an example. And I didn't think it was toxic, but this is something that we talked about with somebody that he knows as somebody that is, well, it actually wasn't T, but me and T and Mario talked about this. And I'll just give it a vague example. So somebody gets married and they want to stay with their family, but the other person might not want to. They don't want to live with their family as being married, as a married couple. And I understand like the family has money, they have some property and things like that, but they want to have their own stuff. You know what I'm saying? What's the threshold? Because what if you get going into a situation where you're married to the person, but you don't like their family, or the family starts kind of, being kind of toxic. You know what I mean? So now you're trapped. You know what I mean?
I guess I'm trying to. I don't know if I fully understand.
So man, say me and you married, right? And I say, well, we ain't gotta get our own place. We just stay at my pop's house. Mm-hmm. Because my pop's got a whole bunch of land and there's, we can just stay there. You know what I'm saying? But then you're going to be like, yeah, but I don't want to live with your dad because they might, after a while, I'm with your whole family. When are we going to do our own thing? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that can become a problem. And this person is not understanding your needs and saying, okay, you know what my wife does is she does make a point. We do need to have our own place, even though my dad got all this property. You know what I'm saying? And you understand that we got our own property, but you want to have your own stuff.
Right.
And I'm just never listening to it. I'm not,
Yeah. But this is the thing about situations like that. In that scenario, the issue isn't even family. That really has nothing to do with it. The issue has to do with being heard and being felt, being understood, and being able to communicate. So the family is sort of like just the context of that. But I guarantee you something like that exists in other aspects of their relationship. It's more than just the family. You're gonna find that this is the case in almost anything where you want to speak up or you want to have something or you want to do something, and then they try to guilt trip you into doing what they want, right? Or try to manipulate you into doing it, or they just you want. We're gonna do what I want. So regardless of if it's the family or if it's what restaurant we're gonna choose, it's literally all the same shit. Am I being heard? Am I being felt? Understood? Is this person even trying to understand? What happens a lot of times in relationships, people fight to be right or they fight to be the victim. meaning they're going to prove that they're the bigger
Right.
situation than you are. And so my problem with that, I won't say my problem, but the problem with that is you're fighting to be the victim and you're fighting to be right. What happens if it's true? Okay, you're the victim. Okay.
Right.
But you weren't fighting for connection. So what? You were right. But that right, being right, like I'll give you an example. This guy asked me this question once, and he was telling me some scenario of his homegirl where his homegirl is dating some guy I don't know if she lived, or she had a key to his apartment. She didn't live there, but she had a key to his apartment. He comes up, some girl was staying in his apartment. It was his homeboy's girlfriend, or something like that. They got into a fight. This girl staying at her boyfriend's house. She walks in, she sees her on the bed and him on the floor talking or something, watching TV. She gets upset and she leaves. My friend asked me who was right or wrong in the situation. Was she right to be mad? Did she have a right to be hurt or anything like that? And my response to scenarios like that, who gives a fuck who's right or wrong? The person you care about is her.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? They're right. You're right. Who gives a fuck? Are you losing connection because you're trying to be right? I have every right to sit on the floor. So what? Your girlfriend's hurt. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how that made you feel. Let's talk about how maybe I didn't mean that. That's not the experience I was having in the situation. Let's talk this out. But most of the times we want to fight to be right or fight to be the victim. Yes, I like what T.
That's true.
Of people would rather be right than be happy. At the end of the day, who gives a fuck? You're right.
Yeah.
Now what? You just lost your friend, or you lost your partner. You just lost a connection with your kid. So what? And you were right though.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to come to a medium. There has to be a medium somewhere where even though you are right or wrong, you guys can both come to an understanding. And I've been in that situation before. You know what I'm saying? Where it was like, okay, yeah, I'll be right. And it became toxic to the point was only because of the situation. The situation caused for me, in my mind, to think that I needed to be right. You know what I mean? And stand on it. I needed to be right and stand on it, regardless of what this other person was saying, only because this person has put me in so many narcissistic situations, I guess indirectly, dealing with their family, dealing with outside people, is like, okay, you know what, at this point in time, I'm not falling for that no more. I'm going to be right, and I'm going to stand over here in my truth. And if you don't like it, that's fine, but I don't want to deal with that anymore. And I didn't gain anything out of it. But at the time, I was like, if I don't stand on what I believe in, because I've been dealing with these people who have been attacking me, it seems like I'm just going to shrivel down more and more and more. I'm just going to shrivel down smaller and smaller. But that's when you're dealing with narcissistic people. That's not when both people are just trying to reach the same agreement and you just need to be more comforting to your partner than being right. You know what I mean? Because that's what ends up happening. When you're in a toxic situation over and over and over again, you will eventually be like, fuck it, I just want to be right. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of being wrong because you said so. I'm tired of being wrong because your mama said so. I'm tired of being wrong because all these people don't like me and you like me, but you listening to them. I'm tired of that. I'm going to be right because I know I'm right. You know what I mean? So, no, it makes a lot of sense. Hey, what's up, Outlaw? How you doing? 2008 B. Scott says, I want a petty argument, but now... Huh? What'd you say?
I said, I'm loving the chat. I love this group. I love the same.
Yeah. I won the petty argument, but now we are breaking up over something petty. Oh, well, at least I won. Exactly.
Right. And what's so funny about that is relationships are going to have ruptures, right? Between you and your kid, you and your best friend. Yeah. There are going to be situations where you're going to have a disagreement. If you don't know how to repair ruptures, that's where you're going to lose. If you just think, okay, this means the relationship's over, right, I'm out, that's where you're going to lose. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have a problem in every single relationship and have no idea that the problem is you. You don't know how to repair a rupture. You don't know how to connect. You don't know how to communicate.
Right.
And, and that's granted, this is outside of a relationship with somebody just cheating on you or beating you or something. That's a whole different situation. But specifically around normal relationship, your average relationship that's not abusive, You know, it's usually these kinds of things that are hurting relationships. Some petty shit because we don't know how to communicate or we don't understand ourselves to know that's why we're upset or that's why we're hurting.
Right, right. I mean, because at the end of the day, it can't be everybody else's fault but yours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Because that's what it ends up being. Is like it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Or the classic, you knew I was like this before you got with me.
Right.
Which is even worse.
The thing about not holding yourself accountable is because you're stuck already in this warped world of feeling like it's all about judgment. Like It doesn't. Why do you don't have to assign blame to anyone? It's not about it's the other person that it's their fault. It's my fault. It's not even about that. What can I do to heal? Yes. What is it differently to get into another relationship that's healthy? What is it that I need to do and work on that's going to get me to where I need to be? It's not about assigning blame or making excuses or holding, or, you know, if you hold yourself accountable, that doesn't mean you're wrong or hurting or you're a bad person. It just means, hey, there are things I need to work on and address within myself. I know there's shit I got to work on for a fact.
Yeah. But it's just like, look at this is what T said. Twitter has me worried people are worse at relationships than ever. He's absolutely right. Because people are so engaged in social media, we're basing our relationships on social media. So the way that we talk to each other in real life is starting to look like social media. People are creating relationships based on social media. And they never last because people have this idea that, you know, when you're on social media, you're your own person, your own personality. And whatever personality that you've created on social media doesn't work in the real world. So when you're whatever you are with 30,000 followers on Twitter, you can be snarky and talk a lot of shit on Twitter, but in real life, you have to be a compassionate person. You have to be empathetic. You have to do all these things. You can't be 30,000 follower Twitter in real life because people are going to get away from you because that shows how narcissistic, because that's what Twitter is, very narcissistic. You know what I mean? Where people can get on, you know, and say, and, you know, I follow people that are married on Twitter. Their Twitter look a lot different than the people that are single. Like there's a line they don't cross. And majority of the people that I follow that are on Twitter that are married are women. And there's a line that they don't cross on Twitter. Yeah.
That's why, you know what, T, I always troll those conversations. If you ever see me on Twitter, I will always say some dumb shit on those comments because they're so fucking stupid. So that's why when that $200 date conversation comes up, I always say it's too low. Just because it's a dumbass conversation.
This is what you be doing. Like today, I was like, who are these weirdos you be talking to? Like, where do you find these people? But that's Twitter.
What do I be doing?
It would just be people because I know what you be doing. Like you be like, you're being sarcastic, but they think you're being serious.
Oh, but what's so funny is I would think it's obviously sarcastic, but what happens?
No.
But people are even under it saying, LOL, ha ha ha, you're funny, you're trolling. And then people will go past all of that because they hate women so much.
Yes.
Seriously. They hate women so much. They look for any opportunity to strike and they don't realize when they're missing. It's like when supremacists have their white supremacist talking points and they jump ahead of you with an argument you've never even made. Like they'll say, slavery was a long time ago. Dude, we're talking about affirmative action. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Slavery at all, you know, but that's what they do. They're ready to jump on some shit. Oh, a woman says something I didn't like. I'm joking.
Vida draws in the incels like spiders to a fly in a web, man. Like I see it all the time. I'm like, he's an incel. Like, and you know what they're doing now is I seen an incel yesterday. They'll put up a woman's picture in the profile picture in the AV. It looks like a woman, but all the talking points, I'm like, because I seen it yesterday. It was like some dude saying something about, oh yeah, you know, women they always want to date these Pookies and Tyrones. Now, anybody that's familiar with the incel culture, Pookie and Tyrone is like a slanderous word about black men who they consider more masculine than them. Yeah.
You told me, I didn't know. So I was like, what the fuck is he even talking about? I was actually genuinely confused when he told me that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you even talking about? And what's
people like me is like Pookie and Tyrone. I would be a Pookie and a Tyrone, whatever.
Yeah, that's first of all, that's corny. So I already let you know your name, and that's why you're whining on the internet right now. You don't. That's the other thing I want to say. Sometimes you're not a nice guy. You're just really corny and lame. Like I just really.
Right.
You are a loser. It's not because women something's wrong with all the women in the world. Because you're. So I just wanted to get that out. But Comunista, what's her name? Champagne Comunista. She said something I really thought was dope. She said people want instant coffee, but relationship style. Everything needs to click and be perfect instantly. That is so true. And I think a lot of that comes from people having these stupid ass conversations on Twitter. I think people really think your relationship,
it really is.
Your dates have to be perfect and go this sort of way. Your relations have to be perfect and go this sort of way. He can't ever text you what you're doing. You know, like it's like all these little things that just make no sense because everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be, oh, he didn't sweep me off my feet, so therefore this isn't a good, you know.
Oh yeah, you didn't sweep me. If I don't sweep you off your feet, then all men are trash.
Right. Or
that's how they think.
It's like if I didn't give you any pussy because you opened my door, something's wrong with me.
Right.
That's the other thing that's corny. Pussy point guys, you guys are annoying as fuck. Like that's just corny.
Wait,
like,
Explain that.
Those pussy point guys, those are guys that have like a checklist of all the nice things they do for women, and they feel like they deserve pussy because they did it. I opened your door, I took you on a date, I paid for the movie, therefore now you owe me pussy. Or they get mad.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, they get legitimately angry or upset if they feel like they were just so nice to you and you didn't give up the goods. I call those.
But those are incels. So that's how incels think. An incel, if they don't get their way, then they just throw the baby out with the bathwater. It can't be she didn't want to have. Yeah, that's what because those guys they watch those what are those dudes called? What's the name of those dudes? Those pickup artist guys, PUAs. Those pickup artist guys. They have those blogs and shit. It's all those pickup artist guys. That's what they do. They watch those guys.
Neil Strauss.
Yeah.
And all those guys.
Yeah. So those guys make videos on YouTube telling them, oh, see, this is what women want. See, the reason why she ain't talking to you is because you're coming off kind of lame and you're not an alpha male and blah, 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 all this other bullshit. So then they go out and do the bare minimum and think they're supposed to get some pussy for it.
But you know what's funny about those guys? Look and see how many healthy long-term relationships they got out of that. Because certain tactics only work on certain types of women.
Well, none of those dudes are ever married.
Well, they claim they want to because they can get all these women. But they don't know how to have healthy relationships. That's why it's trickery for women, because they don't know how to have a healthy relationship.
Right. Yeah, it's a mess, man, because listening to those incels on Twitter, and I'm like, well, you thought you was gonna get some coochie for that? You know what I'm saying? Like you guys went out to dinner and what did it cost you? $40, $50? You took her home. That was your first time ever meeting her. What?
Or just even the idea that all this is transactional.
It's not transactional.
That's super weird to me already. Like that in itself is already hella weird.
That's another thing to pick up artists. They actually don't really get laid. They just lie. Exactly. They do not get pussy. Those dudes are liars. All of them lie. And you know what they do, honestly?
There are guys who are really good at picking up women. I've seen those guys. And I even see why it works, the shit that they do and how. But
you know what but this is what they also do. And I don't know if you ever seen this on YouTube. There's a guy that was doing this. I don't want to say his name because I don't really fuck with this dude. But they always do the whole, yeah, man, see what y'all gotta do, man. Y'all gotta get away from them American women. Y'all gotta get over here to Brazil. Over here in Brazil, women is cooperating. You ain't gotta worry about no drama and blah 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 blah. I'm like, nigga, what? Wait a minute. Your game is so weak that you gotta go to
get with somebody for security financially. So it's a different. Of course, they're gonna be more subservient. They're trying to fucking survive, and you're taking advantage of that.
Right.
I have a homegirl. She's Mexican.
Oh.
She's up doing a lot of those cats pay for puss allegedly, but
yes, I'm glad yes, they do. Yes.
My homegirl, she's Mexican, and she was talking about this black guy who was hitting on her. Now, the thing about my friends is they're kind of funny, but she got upset with him because he starts telling her how his ex-wife is black, but he prefers Latinas. And so she was like, why? What do you like? Why? What the fuck for? Like, what's the difference between black and Latina that you prefer Latinas? And he said, because they serve their men and they have a respect for men. And, black women don't know how to do that and all this shit. And you know what my homegirl said? She said, you think we like that shit? And I was like, and that's a good point. Like, why do you just assume that this is something that women in certain cultures like to do versus?
Man, hold on, Vida. We got a motherfucker here talking shit.
What?
Nigga, get your bitch ass up out of here. Look at this motherfucker. Some faggot, almost that word. Some bitch ass nigga on here talking shit. Mad because he can't get no pussy. Mad because he's still probably working some $9 an hour job. Dusty as fuck. Running his motherfucking mouth. Talking about a homegirl. Talking about Vida's smashable, average looking broad. Motherfucker, you won't even. I tell you what, motherfucker. I'll give you a link and you can get on the stream. And bring your bitch ass on the stream. How about that? And we can see your dusty looking ass. But I'm not even gonna go there because I'm gonna just block you.
Like, why would you even say something like that? What is the point of that?
Because hit dogs holler.
Like,
that's why. Hit dogs holler.
Yeah, I don't even know how to respond.
It's not good. The train don't stop.
I'm not offended. I mean,
the train don't stop.
But I don't even get it. Like, why? What was the point of that? Why even say the discussion? I think, and you're gonna get in here and say something stupid. Like, why? Who gives a fuck what I look like? I want
you. You ever see?
Bitch. No, let me say this.
Look, Vida.
Yeah.
Remember? Go ahead. Go ahead. Get your shit off.
I'm just saying, like, how are you gonna talk shit about me and I'm the one on the fucking camera, regardless of what the fuck I look like, regardless of whether or not you think I'm smashable. First of all, your opinion is irrelevant. This goes for anybody who's all in, in agreement with him. I don't give a fuck. Who gives a fuck what you think? Who gives a fuck? Why even bring that up? I'm on camera. You not, bitch. You the scared one. He didn't even got his own picture in his profile, but he got some shit to say about what I look like. At any rate, you felt
exactly.
He felt attacked. Yeah, like he was a loser. He felt attacked.
He was mad. That motherfucker was hot. He was pissed off. He went from being angry to talking about some sexual stuff. Like, what are you talking about? So you already assuming that Vida would let you. You assuming Vida would let you smash? What the fuck is going on here?
And I know I wouldn't, because he's a bitch ass nigga. I don't fuck bitches. I mean, the only reason I bitch is because you're on the internet without a profile picture talking shit about me and my looks. Who gives a fuck? I'm not the bitch here. You are. And I don't fuck with bitches.
Look, at the end of the day, he mad. And anytime a grown ass man get in his feelings like that, I mean, it's just where I come from, man. You a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You a bitch. You mad. You mad because you can't get no coochie. You mad because you can't get no women to cooperate. We pretty much spoke you into existence because I've never seen you in the comment section before. So we spoke you into existence and you got your feelings hurt. I know you watching right now. I blocked you, but I know you can watch this right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not worried about you doing anything because you'll get smashed out, packed out. So I'm not worried about any of that. So you can go and run to YouTube and tell on us or whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, you're a bitch. And you gotta live with that. That's the scary thing. You have to live with the fact that you ain't nothing but a punk ass bitch. And that's my rant for the day.
So I want to say, let's be happy here. I used to be terrified of cameras, so I want to say that I'm only recently within the past year or two have been taking pictures. There's literally a 7-year gap where there's no pictures of me. I have one before picture of when I was obese, right? I have one. I did not take pictures. Me being on a live stream is a huge part of my growth. And one of the things that I was afraid of before I did this was guys like him, or there being a lot of guys like him berating me and calling me ugly or whatever, right? That was just my fear. And it's so funny because this was my first one, so and it wasn't so bad. Like, who cares? Because like at the end of the day, like this was my first milestone in this, so I'm really happy. It wasn't that bad, and yeah.
No,
so,
you're good. You're good here. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna say something that I said to Vida in private. I'm gonna tell everybody what I said to Vida in private, and she didn't necessarily agree with me because it sounded kind of it. I told her, I said, I wanted her to come on because me and the brother's been talking about getting women to come on, but they got to look good. And she was like, so you're saying you wouldn't put on no ugly girls? I was like, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you look good, and I want you on the live stream. That's all I'm saying. Now, when we find some ugly women, we'll get to that bridge when we crossed it. So, that's just me and the brothers talk about stuff like that because we love women. We love beautiful black women. And we love black women, period. You know what I'm saying? I don't do the whole, if you ugly, you ain't gonna get no date. Nah, we just love black women, period. But we love you. And Candace, whenever she come on, she'll bring her fine chocolate self on here and we can have her on.
But she's super cute. You got to see her. I started partying with her and going out with her. She is the ultimate flirt. She has this big, beautiful smile. Like, it's just like big. And she's just so bright.
Yes.
She's so confident, and guys are just like every time I've hung out with her,
I can tell. That's why I'm glad I'm not in LA because I ain't gonna lie. I already know I'm good. I'm glad I'm not there.
I can't wait.
It's a good thing I'm not there because she knows how to talk, and that's what a lot of brothers won't admit. They like when a woman can talk. If a woman can talk, you're gonna be putty in her hands.
So I'm actually trying to from her because I don't flirt. I don't even know how to flirt. I'm like the worst. Guys have told me that they were flirting with me and they stopped because they thought I just didn't like them. I just didn't know what to do when they were doing it. But she's like super confident. I'm trying to learn from her, but I can't wait for her to be on. When they see her, they're gonna love her because I have to actually but
T said he's also cheap. If people are going to insult us, at least do it via super chat. Thank you, man. When they hate, donate. Okay, we ain't even do nothing. We ain't do nothing to nobody. We ain't talk bad to nobody. We just being here talking and having. These are real conversations that black people and just people, period, need to have about relationships. If we're gonna be in these committed relationships with each other outside of Twitter, outside of whatever girl you think you're gonna get with on OnlyFans or Pornhub, because that's what that dude is doing right now. He's one of those dudes. He's such an incel. He just picks up prostitutes to yell at him. He don't even want no sex. He just yell at them. Yeah. So people like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like we didn't even say anything disrespectful. We are actually trying to have a contextualized conversation about black relationships. But you don't want a healthy relationship with a black woman. You don't want a healthy relationship, period. What you want is your way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you straight up, something my grandfather told me years ago, man. You ain't gonna have your way. Not with no woman. You just not gonna have your way. He told me two things when I was growing up. One, you ain't gonna have your way. Two, you ain't gonna have them all. And the faster you get that through your head, you'll be all right as a man. You know what I'm saying? So you slinging dick until you're 50. You're gonna be out here by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Walking the back streets crying. So that dude that got on here saying all that, hey, it is what it is. Look, I've heard people say worse shit about me. So what he said about you is nothing. I done heard people in the comments say all kind of crazy shit about me.
I think because in my real life, internet is a little bit different, but in my real life, like I'm used to guys, calling me ugly and all that shit pretty much most of my life. Yeah. So I think it's funny because now I realize it doesn't have as much of an effect on me, mostly because I don't.
You got confidence. You're confident. You know you ain't ugly.
I have become so much more confident in that. I'm actually really proud of myself at this very moment. I'm gonna celebrate with smoking some more, but I'm really proud of myself because I was like, that's not so bad. That wasn't so scary. It's not so stupid. Fuck them. Like,
man, look, I'm one of them people. Like, I'm confident to the point when I'm confident in a lot of things in my life. One of the things I'm confident is talking to women because I grew up, being told, well, all they can do is say no. Y'all see me on Twitter. I'll be shooting my shot at Joy Taylor from FS1. I don't give a fuck.
I didn't even see that.
I do it all the time. What's the worst that can happen?
I'm so fall all in your game because I'm just a hater.
I do it to women all the time on Twitter. I don't do it in their DMs or nothing like that. But I'll be throwing shots at women all the time. If you're a beautiful woman, I'm gonna be like, I got gifts and memes for everything. I'm gonna be out there because what am I supposed to do? Be like that incel dude. He gonna tweet her and probably call her a whore or some shit. Yeah, man, women that look like this, they always doing something this and da da da. You know what I'm saying? These dudes are their own worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like the great Sugar Free said, everywhere you go, there you are. So if you ain't gonna deal with yourself, you know what I'm saying? You definitely don't want to come fucking with us over at the Champagne Sharks, but we're gonna ride your ass into the ground.
And along those lines, let's stick with the same camp. Sugar Free said, if you ain't the shit to yourself, you won't be to nobody else.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
So, if you took it too quick, I figured I'd take it to Sugar Free. Same camp.
Look, probably my boy Jate talking about Kenney shooting for the stars for real. I'll shoot from the parking lot with a blindfold on. What's the worst that can happen? They say no. Shoot, for all I know, Joy Taylor might show up to your boy's house one time, and want to take your boy out to get some yogurt or something. You never know. I get lucky sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Shoot or shoot. The only shots you ain't gonna make is the ones you don't take, homie. Hey, look, Portland is very attractive. Joy Taylor might come to Portland because Colin Cowherd used to work in Portland for KGW on the sports channel. He might come back to Portland and bring Joy. I see her flat booty self over at the yogurt spot and slide up in there. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You never know. You have a
better chance in person than you would online, because I'm sure she just gets so many.
Oh yeah.
So many shots thrown her way.
Oh my God.
On TV,
What is going on here? Hey, Jate, what is going on here, bro? What is this guy talking about? What's going on here?
He's trolling.
Man, why we got so many trolls today, man? What is going on?
I don't know. Does it help the ratings either way?
Hey, I said hate, comment, or subscribe.
I like that. Hate, comment, subscribe.
Whatever. Hate, comment, or subscribe. It is what it is, Hey, you already know Champagne Communist to see me all the you've been following me since my old Twitter account. Before I got booted, I shoot my shot at everybody. Angela Bassett, anybody. And I'm not disrespectful. I'm for real. I'm not disrespectful either. I'm not.
Right?
Man, I'm trying to tell you now. See, this is the thing. 2008 B Scott.
This is his name.
Kim ain't gonna fuck with me because I'm a hog about shit. So if anything, if y'all see me with Kim Kardashian, it's gonna be on some other shit. Like you don't want nobody like me being around that family. That's gonna be a horrible situation for them. Because I'm gonna have niggas at their house barbecuing, we're gonna be playing video games, all kinds of shit. She's gonna have about 4 or 5 more kids because she got all that money. I'm not playing games with them. I ain't got nothing to lose. I got time on my hands. I done lost all my hair, so I ain't got nothing else to lose.
I wonder if it was a celebrity I could shoot my shot. I don't really have a lot of crushes. So,
no.
Like, who would be a celebrity crush that I would shoot my shot at? I'm like, who do I even like? I don't even know. There's some guys who are actors or rappers or some shit.
Morris Chestnut, no, not Kendrick. Kendrick married. Dave East. A lot of women like Dave East.
He's handsome, but he's not my type.
Who, Dave East?
Yeah. He's really handsome, but he's just not my type. But I'm trying to think.
Damn, I don't really know too many. Freddie Gibbs.
He's handsome, not my type.
Madlib.
I don't even know what he looks like.
Madlib, I know, right? Nobody knows what Madlib looks like.
Just naming rappers and producers.
I mean, it's the same thing for me, for women though, because I don't really know too many. Like, I only know the women celebrities based on what I see on Twitter. So I know Saweetie is the new it girl. Tiana Taylor.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Saweetie is like one of those people who's just like pretty. Like, I don't know how to explain any other difference. She's just really pretty.
Jesse Williams. This fool T talking Jesse Williams.
Cornball. That's the other thing. You can't be a cornball and be handsome, because then it overrides.
Hey, BL, I'll be in entanglement. I'll be tangled up in sticker bushes. Messing with Joy Taylor. Y'all don't even want it. Y'all don't want me out there like that, man.
Can the ladies in the chat please help me out? Or
where's 2008 B Scott?
Huh? I didn't see what she said.
No, I said, where is she? She was here. Oh, there she go.
In the chat. I'm trying to think, because I don't like Jesse Williams. Like, I don't know who's like a fly. Most of the guys I've liked, who did I like before? So I liked when I was younger. I liked AZ.
Oh, the rapper Az, yeah.
So and
Az,
I never liked the
Nas.
sex symbol guy. So
There ain't really ain't too many sex symbol guys out there. The guys they tried to do it with is just not. Oh, I thought. Oh, my bad. Damn. 2008 B. I think we had this conversation before on here. We thought 2008 B. Scott was a woman.
see, he had been telling me you were a woman for a long time.
I blame T. T is to blame for that.
I
It is not
apologize.
it is not my fault. That is T. T did it.
So somebody said Jesse Williams. Oh, Probable Cause said Jesse Williams would cry during pillow talk with Vida. So I'm not one of those girls who say guys can't cry. But if a guy does something like that, I will be so turned off. I can't even explain to you.
No, there's a time and place for everything.
I don't even know how to even explain it. It just would be such a turn off.
T is the one. I could be wrong, and T has a bad memory like me. I could have swore that T told me 2008 B. Scott was a woman months ago, long time ago.
Oh, sorry, because comunista sounds like a woman.
What? See, T? Nope, that's T. T did that. I swear.
But comunista sounds like a woman's, because in Spanish that would be a feminine ending to the name. But
it was not me. T did that. It was not me.
So Hansi said Lupe Fiasco, and
Fiasco?
Lupe Fiasco. I had the biggest crush on Lupe Fiasco, especially when The Cool came out. So yeah, that's actually a good one. But I wouldn't shoot. I would shoot my shot at Lupe. Although funny enough, I've actually met Lupe a couple of times, and I didn't shoot my shot. I was too shy. And one of the times I was actually with another rapper, but that's a whole nother conversation. But let me think.
Whoa. You just wait. Is this a rapper that we know?
No, but you would definitely know his camp. You would know the head of the camp. But at any rate,
you messing with hold on. You can't just skate past that.
Well, you might know. I won't
can't just skate.
You like hip hop, so I don't know. But if you don't, people who aren't into hip hop probably aren't.
Is it a West Coast? It's a West Coast artist?
No. That's okay.
It's not a West Coast artist.
What? No, he's from New York. But anyway.
Yeah, I probably do know who it is.
Huh?
So I probably do know who it is.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it another time. I do have a thing for goatees, so I'm trying to get Kenney to grow his. He said he's going to grow his beard out.
Yeah. Oh my God! You guys don't even want to know the type of disrespect I had to deal with from Vida when I didn't have a beard because I shaved my beard off.
Dude, hey,
oh my God!
I saw him last week. You can't tell me that handlebar mustache shit not look like he should be singing in a barbershop quartet. Swear to me. Exactly.
I was going for the 70. I was going for the 70 porn look.
I didn't have a crush on. Oh, I got one. I did have a crush on Mos Def, and I still think he's kind of fine. I don't care if he has 20 kids around the world. I fucking love Mos Def. So I would say
he does have a lot of kids.
I would definitely shoot my shot at Mos Def. Like you said,
what about Idris Elba?
Idris Elba's fine, but I don't know. Like he's fine. I used to have like a really big crush, but
Idris Elba or Stringer Bell. Those are two different.
Oh,
Stringer Bell sounds like somebody we know.
Stringer Bell and Wood Harris. Okay, yeah. Now we talking. So yes, Stringer Bell.
Okay. Now we talking. Mekhi Phifer.
Because he had them glasses on and he was looking at papers and shit, and I was like, ooh. I have a thing for glasses, by the way. I love I think glasses honestly make most people just look instantly more attractive, male or female. There's just something about glasses. When kids wear glasses, they just look even more adorable. I don't know what it is. I just think glasses are just one of those really cool things.
Right.
I don't need glasses. I'm hoping I don't actually ever have to need them, but I do like to wear them from time to time. Eyeglasses.
So Champagne Communist says Kenny gets a pass, but only can't physically grow up the rest of his beard. I can't. That's the thing. I can't do the James Harden. I cannot have this. I can't do the Santa Claus thing. I just don't. My face doesn't work like that.
But you just have to get creative with what
doesn't work. Jessica J says, yeah. This is only a weekend. I shaved my beard a week ago. It's already,
Okay. Well, Wood Harris. Sure. Oh my God. That's hilarious. I don't know if all women like men in glasses.
That is hilarious.
I just know I like men in glasses. I don't know if all women like men in glasses.
Most women do.
Most women do. And I think the older you get,
women in glasses. Most brothers like women in glasses.
Really?
Yes.
I thought the saying was guys don't make passes to girls who wear glasses.
Nah.
I actually learned.
Now let's look at BL.
I don't know. That's possible. I just think something about it is just like a really dope accessory. I'm obsessed with hoop earrings. It's just one of those things that it's one of those accessories I just think it looks really dope on people. Hoop earrings also being really dope on a lot of women. I do have a thing. So how people say that they're sapiosexual, and they're usually lying.
Mm-hmm.
Actually be one of those people. I don't know how you test it. I don't know if there's a quiz I can take or if there's like a diagnosis, but I suspect I might be a sapiosexual. I've dated guys that looked all kinds of ways as long as I felt like I could connect with them intellectually. The one guy I dated that was
what does sapiosexual mean?
Sapiosexual means that you are sexually aroused by intelligence. So you are attracted to smart people, or whenever you feel like you're learning something new, you just get really into it. So like guys who teach me things, yeah. So, yes, I think I might actually be one of those sapios. I don't know how you actually check, so I never actually claim that. But I might be.
That's very interesting.
What?
That's quite interesting. The sapiosexual thing. That is quite interesting.
You've never heard of that?
That's very... Well, I've heard of it. I just never got to define a definition. Because all the brothers in the chat is going to get Encyclopedia Britannica and they're going to get the Wall Street Journal. And they're going to get everything to get very smart right now.
Well, I don't understand what probable cause is saying. So he says sapiosexual be getting with the most crash helmet short boys dudes, though. They just be saying it so they don't appear shallow. I have no idea what that sentence means. But it sounds interesting, so I want you to explain it. My question being, what is a crash helmet short boy?
Go ahead, expound on that.
Yeah, what is a crash helmet short boy, and who is appearing to say what so they don't appear shallow? I'm trying to understand what you mean. Short bus. Oh, you're saying that people who say that they are sapiosexual tend to get with dumb people? I don't know. I honestly don't know because I couldn't tell you because I don't know who isn't a sapiosexual to tell you that. And I'm not sure how you were able to get even your most qualitative data to say that. Most people don't know
qualitative data.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that, of course it's not going to be quantitative. I don't expect them to have done a survey or anything like that. But how do you know who is and isn't sapiosexual for you to say what sapiosexuals typically do? 'Cause I don't even know if I'm one or not. I'm just throwing that out there. And how many do you know?
I
And
don't even know if I am one or not.
right, and how do you know how many of those people are in? I don't know. It just seems like a really hard thing to say. I like dumb chicks myself. All right, Chris, that's dope. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I
I
guess
guess.
I dated a really handsome dumb guy once, and unfortunately, I'm one of those long-term relationship people. So we were in a 3-year relationship, and he was stupid. And I don't. I had really low self-esteem. Loved his family because he grew up like the Cosbys, and I grew up in a really
No,
fun.
wait, no. Who's the one that's dumb? If you stayed with a dumb dude for 2 years.
Well, I'll say this: I wasn't dumb. I had low self-esteem. That's a difference.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I really loved his family. His family was like the Huxtables. So, and you know, and both his parents were still together. Both his parents have professional executive jobs and shit. His grandfather was a engineer at Boeing and lived up in Baldwin Hills. He lived in Leimert Park. So it was like this whole upper and middle class black family thing. And this family was super close, and you know, it was a lot different than my wild ass family or my disconnected family. Anyone ever tell you?
Can anyone ever tell you look like D'Lo Brown? Hey man, D'Lo Brown's my dude, man. But D'Lo Brown got hair. I don't. Unfortunately, D'Lo Brown is a wrestler from WWF back in the day. No, I've never heard that before. I've heard I look like a lot of different people. I even had a woman when I was in high school. I was on my way to school to get on the bus, and she thought I was her son. And that was very weird.
I like what B. Scott said too. Hold on. Oh, probable cause. Yeah, I just read that. Okay, I kind of get what you're saying now. You're talking about people who claim to be sapiosexual, but they're always the idiots. And I will say this: they might still be a sapiosexual, but because of them having low self-esteem, such as myself, you just end up with people because you think that's all you can get. And I'm sure in the gaming community, no offense, but we know that a lot of the gaming, that there are a lot of guys who have issues with attracting women that are in communities such as gaming communities. And oftentimes, because they struggle with getting women or getting, I won't just say women, guys too, they struggle with attracting people, they just go with what they think, whatever it is they believe they can get. So that could also be part of it. So maybe they are sapiosexual, but they settle for what they think they can get. That's what I did. And I liked what B. Scott said, the dumb person as a proxy for the family, which is super smart. Damn your luck. I was young. Yeah. I was trying to, have a family. I wanted to know what it felt like to be normal. And you know what was funny? I think I started to realize I was abnormal from that same family. When I met his family, parents, they kept looking at me crazy. Like the dad, for example, he's like, I don't think I've ever shopped at the 99-cent store. That's kind of, yeah. And I was like, what?
They type of family, they ain't never been to the Slauson swap meets.
You probably hadn't, honestly. But what made it funny was when I started to realize that my life was a little bit abnormal. And I'm talking to his parents, my first time meeting them. They invited me to dinner, and I just talk about like my first time catching the bus and how I learned how to catch the bus. And so that story is that my dad just told us we moved to a whole new neighborhood, and my dad I was like maybe 13 or 12, 13, something like that. And so he sits me and my younger brother down, and he tells us from now on we're going to be catching the bus. He's not going to drop us off at school or pick us up from school. We're going to have to figure out how to get home and back on our own. So what he does is he gives us some change. He doesn't even know how much the bus fare is. He drops us off at a bus stop, We asked him, which way do we go? He said, ask the bus driver. And we had
Oh
to figure
wow.
out school. Not only get to school, we had to get to my school and then get to my brother's schools. We're going to different schools, turn in our school paperwork, to enroll, and then go meet my dad at his job. We're in a whole other area. We had never caught the bus before. He just dropped us off. And the other thing is, like, I was terrified because I was already scared of just, I didn't know these people. Like, who the fuck is, I had never been on a bus before. And so, yeah. So my dad used to do shit like that. Now imagine telling this to the guy you're dating, his family, and they're just looking like this. And then the dad goes, I couldn't imagine having a daughter and just dropping her off at the bus stop. And
Damn, man.
said that, it was like, that's not normal.
Right. That's when you start realizing, like, oh shit. Like,
Right.
what have I been living? What's been my lifestyle? What's been my life?
I want to say that was literally like the very, very first time in my life I had ever looked at my childhood differently than I had before. Like literally the first time. Because I thought all the shit I was experiencing in my abusive ass household was normal.
Right.
I'm not saying him dropping up at the bus stop in itself was abusive, but it's just one of those tactics. It was one of those abusive tactics that he had. But at the same time, I do also think he thought he was teaching us life skills, you know, and to some degree, that's exactly what I learned. I have no fear about anything really.
Well, you were put in a state of survival at a young age compared to their family was, something else.
Yeah.
Now T said he's going to bed, man. I'll see you tomorrow, T.
Oh, bye, T. Thank you for joining us a little bit. Yeah, but like, I had a roommate too who I actually knew since middle school. She was from Inglewood, but remember I joked about how Inglewood is like, that's blood niggas from nice homes.
Yeah, it is.
2-parent household, nice house. Her sisters were like straight A students because we had all went to the same elementary, middle school, junior high, and they were straight A students. And their mom was like really active on the school campus. So it was just one of those idealistic Black families, at least how I saw it. And when we were living together, her dad or her mom would literally pick her up to take her to her doctor's appointments or take her grocery shopping. And I was like, what? Like, she didn't do anything for herself. If we were in college, I thought that shit was crazy. Because my dad literally
didn't even sounds crazy to me.
My dad didn't even know where I lived. He never even helped me move. He just kicked me out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I didn't know shit. I didn't know how to pay a bill. I didn't know how to write a check. I didn't know anything. And my dad just kicked me out, and I had to figure it out.
Wow.
See,
that's a lot.
My date's parents had. See, that's
right.
Actually, my date's parents had.
I mean, that's different.
That's just how my life was.
So we got this now. Remember this. This is the second topic that we were going to bring up. And this is something I went ahead and logged into Twitter for everybody to see. And this is something that Vida brought to my attention, that a guy was talking about with men and dating advice. And it says, set a standard, don't date down, find sexual compatibility, get as much as you give, do not be jealous, do not try to control her, do not suffer in silence, express your needs, keep a hobby, which to me is the most important one. Talk to her about her and help around the house. Now, I'm guessing he's talking about people that live together, because if you don't live with a woman, then it doesn't really make a difference. But I thought that was, I'm not going to say it's too good to be true, but it's the way it should be.
Yeah.
As compared to what the last guy was talking about, where, oh man, y'all know y'all want a little bit of toxicness. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, man. When I looked at his situation, that's called healthy. And that's what I learned in therapy, that they call approaching mental wellness. When you're approaching mental wellness, those are the things that you expect. Those are the things that you deserve. Because a lot of people don't want to tell themselves, I deserve this. I deserve to be in a healthy relationship. I deserve to not be in abject poverty. I deserve to have an education. A lot of people just say, oh, well, this is just the way things are. Like you were saying, when you met your ex's family, you thought that what you were living was normal. And what they were doing was weird. You know what I'm saying? And that's how, when you're in a state of trauma and survival, that's pretty much, So when you're in a relationship with somebody, and that guy was speaking from a man's perspective of how you should treat a woman and what you should expect in a relationship with a woman, I looked at what did I tell you when you showed me that? I was like, well, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the simple fact that he had to tweet that goes to show you that I know for a fact that somebody's in that comment section saying, no, bro, because, man, what if some bullshit? You know what I'm saying? And it's important that it's okay to have expectations as a man, because, a lot of times men get told, because we chase women in society, well, what they say, happy wife, happy life. Mm-hmm. You hear a lot of brothers say that. And a lot of times when you hear brothers say that, there's something wrong at home.
Oh, why else would you say that if it wasn't?
Yeah.
Because the fact that you have to feel like you need to say that says there's something wrong.
Yeah. That means there's something wrong.
And while it is true, happy wife, happy life, her happiness is not your responsibility. Your happiness is your responsibility.
Right.
You should be happy too. So happy life, happy wife.
Right.
Because if you're a healthier, happier person, guess who becomes also happy? Your partner.
Exactly.
So, happy life, happy wife, and you are responsible for your happiness.
There was a documentary that came out. I don't even know if you want to call it a documentary, and I wish we could find it on YouTube because I would definitely play it. It was called Diary of a Tired Black Man. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I feel like I saw it.
It came out about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit less.
Was it the black? And was he like going off on like his baby mom's or his ex-wife's friends or some shit?
Well, what it was a guy. The guy was African. I can't think of his name. The guy, the main guy is African, and he was talking about how he's married to this black woman, but all the drama that was going on. But then it would split, and they would talk to people on the street about their relationships and things like that. And it would show like some relationships, people, they had that equal balance. But then it was they would talk to a lot of brothers who was divorced. And I remember one brother, I swear this brother was Damon John from FUBU, but I don't think it was him. And he said that he got tired of the fact that every time he got home from work, when he put his key in the door, he don't know what's going on the other side or what he's going to have to deal with. Because he had been believing this whole happy wife, happy life thing, that his wife was a straight narcissist. You know what I'm saying? And it got to the point where he just divorced her. Now, the thing is, in the movie, it showed the black dude going through all these things with his wife, and then her friends is talking trash and, all this kind of stuff. And it made it look like he was going to leave his wife for a white woman, but he didn't. He dated a white woman, but he ended up getting married again to a black woman.
Okay, I think I did see this.
You remember that?
I feel like I saw it. I can copy it and open it.
Can you? You can share it. Can you share your screen if you want to? We're right down to where it says share screen.
I don't need to share. I just want to see if I can pull it up. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I definitely saw. I was thinking about this bald black dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did see this. I saw it. There's a clip, right, where he's like saying some shit to his ex-wife's.
Let's play the clip.
Okay. So what do I do? You said.
If you can find the clip, just
there it is. Share
screen.
You can see all the windows I have open.
Make sure you do
share audio.
Both Pornhub and all the other ones.
Application.
You got to buy it or rent it, but I'm sure we can. Is there a trailer that we can find?
I'm about to play it right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Nah, I can't see it. So what you gotta do is go to share screen, and you gotta make sure you go to the Chrome tab.
I did.
Share audio and go to Chrome tab.
Okay.
I can't see it.
Okay, I'm going to hold on. I had to stop it.
Oh, Oh, okay, you stopped it. I was going to add it to the stream.
Oh, you had to do it. Oh, okay, I'll do it again then. Hold on.
I think I might have to be the one to do it. So if you put it back in, I'll just add
Well,
it.
it says I can
the
share
stream.
on my screen.
Oh, well, yeah.
Do you see it?
There we go. Not yet.
Did you approve it or whatever you're supposed to do?
Is it? Yeah, I did, but it's not playing yet.
Oh, okay.
That's tripping.
I'll play it. I'll play it.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, I'll start from the beginning.
You might want to turn it up some.
That's the loudest.
Must be a low playing clip because I can't hear it.
It's low. It's even kind of low on my end. It's okay. Yeah, look, just they
Okay.
go to the clip themselves. I guess I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, you guys want to find? You can find it on YouTube, but it's the movie / documentary, I guess you want to call it. You know, but I thought it was interesting. I didn't believe everything that was in it. You know what I mean? But I thought it was pretty interesting because it showed from a man's perspective when you're dealing with a toxic person, and how pervasive it can be and how weird it can be because if you've been bred to believe that women are always right, or you're afraid if you get into a situation where you feel like the woman's going, if you don't let her be right, she's going to take your kids and get child support and all this other kind of stuff. And you just have to deal with this toxicity over and over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean? So like the brother was saying in the tweet, all of that stuff checks out. Really, I mean, that's you being empathetic. That's you being compassionate. That's you being understanding. And that's you having balance and welcoming balance in your relationship. Because then it can't just be about you the whole time. But we all know that relationships never end up that way. It never works out that way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You know, it's funny because I was thinking about what you were saying about the guy saying that if you have someone or you don't even know that fucking up my whole sentence. Sorry. What you just said, actually. You just talked about getting into a relationship with somebody, and that's toxic, let's even say abusive, and you're in that relationship. But my thing is, you're in that relationship for a reason. Why were you in that relationship? How did you end up there?
Right.
How did you end up in a position where you began to believe that everything was about your partner and not about you? Who taught you that? In fact, a lot of times it's not even about just how we look, like maybe we saw our parents and how they interacted with each other. That might be part of it. It might also be because you just grew up your whole life feeling like your needs weren't important because that's how the adults around you made you feel. So you get into relationships that basically mimic that same thing so you can have that same feeling and play that same role that you were playing your whole life as a person whose feelings don't matter, but everyone else's does. And that's problematic for multiple reasons. One is your connection with your partner suffers. So when your connection suffers, then you don't have a healthy relationship. So you have to actually address the fact that, you know, you have this issue around acknowledging your own feelings. Your feelings are just as important as anybody else's.
Right.
This is what I teach in my parenting class. Your feelings and needs are just as important as your child's feelings and needs. You cannot help your child if you are in a mind, your needs aren't getting met. Like I try to point that out all the time. But a lot of times because we've been so conditioned that that's being selfish. I had a therapist once and she told me something I thought was really funny. She said she has a philosophy and her whole family knows she had a husband and a son. That they know when I come in the door, I have 5 priorities. Me first, me first, me first, me first, then you. And I thought it was really funny. And I thought it was interesting because I'd never heard that perspective before. She said, they know I have to make sure I take care of myself so then I can take care of them. I can't take care of their needs if my needs aren't met.
Right.
And it's like I always point out, when we go on the airplane, they say when reach, what is that called? When we reach, we have low oxygen because we reach a certain altitude. That thing drops down, that mass drops down, oxygen mass drops down, whatever it's called. What do they tell you? If you are with someone,
put it on yourself first.
If you're with someone you need to assist, put your mask on first and then put theirs on. Because if you're trying to put theirs on and you pass out in the process, you haven't succeeded. Now both of y'all suffering. And it's the same thing if you don't take care of your needs. So we have to feel like our needs don't matter. And then there's the other person. So this is what happens. I talk about this all the time. The other person is someone who's been conditioned to feel like if they don't take care of their needs, no one else will. And so they put their needs above everyone else's to the detriment of relationships. So this is what happens. People feel like their needs don't matter, get with people who think only their needs matter. And then you end up in these unhealthy, toxic relationships.
Yeah, that's and say that again. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say you got quiet on me, but it's cool.
Were you talking?
No, you're good.
No. I was listening. There's things where it's like, and when sometimes you can get lost in your relationship, even though it's toxic, you're afraid to let it go because you might have abandonment issues. You know what I'm saying? So now you're stuck with this person that you're afraid. You're afraid to ask them to work on themselves because you're afraid they might be abusive to you, male or female, whichever one. It really doesn't make a difference because women can be abusive also. So you asking them to work on themselves, now they're mad at you, and you're basically, because you have those people out there that are real narcissistic. That you say, "Hey man, I don't like when you do that to me." Oh, so what you trying to say? You're like, I'm just saying, like, the stuff that you're doing is hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I don't like when you do that to me. You know what I mean? But a lot of people turn that into, and I've seen this. They say, you tell them that you don't like that they did something, or you don't like me.
Yep, because they have low self-esteem.
Like, no, I just don't like that you did that. Like, I don't. Yeah.
If they hear you're saying something wrong with me because I'm not perfect.
That's fair.
And remember, a narcissist is always in front that they're perfect. They're above everybody else. And when you point out to them that they're not perfect, that shame wall goes up and they have to defend themselves. So absolutely. And, and
like I never understood that until I started dealing with people like that.
I mean, I understand it. I won't deal with it. I understand a lot of things about people, but also when I'm out, I don't have to put up with it either. I've learned to pick up on certain signs really early. Which I guess comes with being in your 30s, honestly, and dating more, because I can pick up on certain things a lot quicker than I was when I was younger. And I would end up in situations for a long time because I didn't understand that my needs mattered, because I was that person who was in the unhealthy relationship constantly giving, because I was always taught to believe a woman is supposed to cater to the needs of her partner. So I was always told that. In fact, my dad was adamant about teaching me, or he was just an asshole, but he basically had this belief that he had to teach me how to be a wife. Funny enough, he didn't teach me really anything, but he had this berate me for not being a certain way. Mind you, I live in a house with only males, and my dad talks to me and treats me a certain way. Expecting me to come out like some super girly girl. I had to learn how to be a girly girl as I got older. And I still sometimes don't feel like that shit, But, I had to learn. I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you had said something. But anyway, I had to learn that I don't have to be or play the role that I was raised and conditioned to be in play. Like, I don't have to. And I don't have to put up with the shit that I was told I was going to have to put up with as a woman. Like, my dad would tell me shit like, your husband's going to cheat on you if you don't lose weight. That's what he used to tell me.
Wow.
He's going to marry you and they can't carry you over the threshold. You better lose some weight. So yeah, I know it sounds crazy. I know.
Golly,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
I feel like I'm just opening up to the whole.
Yeah, I don't know. That,
I told you.
no. I mean,
To me
when
a
I'm
lot.
talking about no, well, one of the things that a lot of people don't know this, or you might know. I don't know if you know this, but whenever I talk about certain situations, I'm talking about myself. I just don't say me. So, like when I talk about you're with someone and they're have a narcissistic mama, I'm talking about my ex and her mom. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the type of shit I dealt with. I I was with a girl for 2.5 years and didn't want to hang out with her family all the time. And the one time I tell them I don't want to hang out with them, they going around saying I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why are they saying I don't like them? Because I didn't want to come over? What type of narcissistic shit is that? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, if I don't do what you say, that means I don't like you. Like,
Yeah.
that's weird. And I dealt with that for like 2 years. And it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm tired of bending like the olive branch. I'm right. Fuck that. I'm going to be right this time. And
It's
I'm
a
not going to let
manipulation
you
tactic.
use your little fucking bullshit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Every time I'm wrong is because you guys are doing some type of mind fuck where Kenny's wrong. It's almost like it's like a pack mentality. When you guys are all together, if I disagree with anything you guys say, I'm wrong and I don't like you.
Mm.
But on a one-on-one, we're cool. But you guys don't want to. Yeah, my boy Probable Cause 503. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. If it's one of those things where just because I don't want to hang out with you guys this time, now I don't like you guys. No, I just don't want to hang out with you today.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are so narcissistic that you have twisted it and you've convinced your daughter, the girl that I'm dating, that you guys are right. That anybody that doesn't want to hang out with all of you guys at the same time, I must not like you guys. It can't be
Or
because
that it's about them at all. Like the fact that they made it about them at all.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's that helicopter parent stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to address this other thing that Probable Cause said. Sounds like talking about my dad. Sounds like he was making his ideal wife through you, as cringy as that was to type. And that is cringy to type. And I do think I think you could see it that way, especially with not a lot of information. But I don't think it was that. Because I don't think my dad was really he wasn't the relationship guy. Like he wasn't, I don't know how to explain it. My dad was mentally ill. Like he was, but we know now he's bipolar and all kinds of other shit, right?
Yeah.
For him, it was about control and power and trying to, and think about narcissists is they try to create this perfect image. And they do that also through their children. So with me, what he was trying to do, I'll give you an example, what my dad does now. He takes credit for whatever accomplishment any of me or my siblings have had, right? So he'll say things like, you're that way because I created you to be that way. I put that in you. You got this award or this accomplishment because I put that in you. I think for him, it wasn't so much of creating me to be an ideal wife that he would want, because he's a sociopath. So he doesn't even have that ability to connect in that way.
Right.
He honestly does not. I don't think he even knows how to actually feel love. I think he knows how to play the role of someone who knows how to feel love. He knows he knows the reactions you're supposed to have. He knows you're supposed to get married and things are supposed to be a certain way. That's how he looks at it, at least, right? So for me, for example, when I graduated from college, his first thing to me was, okay, it's time for you to either go to grad school or find a husband. And I've done neither of those things. But that's how he looked at it. There was a way that things were supposed to go. And the way he looked at it was, there's a way a wife is supposed to be. I want to create this person to be this perfect image of what I think someone is supposed to be. Not necessarily for him. I just think that's what narcissists do.
Right.
That's his way of saying, look at what I did. Look at the kind of kids. He used to tell me, oh boy, I could make me some kids. He said I could raise me some kids. I could raise me some kids. Mind you, all three of us are trying to heal from the trauma he caused us.
Right. He thinks he did nothing wrong.
Because he looks at our accomplishments. I graduated from college. I do well in my career. My brother is a full-time entrepreneur who's doing very well for himself and taking care of his family. My baby brother is extremely smart and is also working in music like my other brother. So he takes credit for that, despite the fact 2 of the 3 of us don't even talk to him.
Wow.
Right. So I think for him, that's the thing about narcissism. So when I teach my classes, I often use my own story as an example. I think that's important because I wanted to be, I want to give people a real image and picture and understanding of what this shit can look like. And in a household with an abusive, narcissistic, dry drunk parent, and if you don't know what a dry drunk is, that's a person who's an abusive alcoholic that's sober, but still has the behaviors of an abusive alcoholic. But it's 10 times because they have all the dexterity of a sober person.
Right,
you know?
right.
So growing up in that type of household and not knowing I had grown up in that type of household had a deep and profound effect on the rest of my life. And the person I was 2-3 years ago is not the person you're seeing on this camera right now. And that comes from that healing shit. Like, people like my perspectives on relationships, but honestly, it's because I just study so much about relationships. And I've been working with families and people and children for so long, literally about 20 years, that, you know, I'm able to kind of understand things a certain way. But it really took a lot of healing. And that's why I'm a big advocate for that shit. I hate when I go on a date with a guy and he starts telling me how terrible all the other exes were. So then you ain't learned a goddamn thing, and you have not healed from whatever bullshit you need to be healing from.
Yeah, now you don't want to bring the conversation to the new girl. That's not a good look.
Oh,
you don't want to do that unless they ask. Because, you know, women, y'all do this. So what happened with the last relationship?
And even
if I say, oh, it just didn't work out, you were like, yeah, but what happened?
Yeah. Even if I were to ask, I don't ask that in the beginning, in early dates, but even if I were to ask that, I'm very curious in how you answer that. If you answer and everything was wrong with the person, you tell me nothing you learned, or you told me none of the things that you had to grow from and heal from and addressing yourself, then I know you haven't actually addressed your shit. Especially, and oftentimes they tell you some shit else. They always blame, they'll say that, oh, my other exes, they took advantage of me. Or they would always do. And I was like, that's interesting. Every girl you were with took advantage of you. That says a lot about you.
Yeah, sure the fuck does.
You know?
It does say a lot about the person.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm all about the healing shit.
Check your private chat.
I just saw that.
Okay. So, you know, I think, you know what? Looks like people is turning in, man. We could wrap it up here.
Yes, good idea. It's already about to be 10 o'clock.
It's about to be 10 o'clock and I'm hungry. My stomach is growling and I got some crab cakes. Ooh. I usually don't say that word because I don't want to be dissing the hood. No, I'm playing.
I don't worry, the volume's not up too loud. My neighbors can't hear it because I'm.
Oh, you over in 60 hood.
Yeah.
You over in 60 hood right now. Nah. Who's that? Jate, you still here? Hey, Jate, I need to talk to you about getting a modded Xbox. We need to chop it up. We need to chop it up, man. And hopefully you got a fan because it's hot as fuck in Portland right now. It's like 95 degrees tomorrow. But I want to thank everybody for coming, including the hater. I'm sure he's still watching. I know he's still watching. So thank the hater. And I hope you thumb down the video too, you bitch. You bitch you. And I want to thank Vida for coming on. She is the new. You ain't even new no more. You at home now. You ain't no guest no more. You can do this on your own if you want to. I'll show you how to run this thing. Thank everybody for coming through. Jate. Bryson's still here. Okay, for sure, fam. Bryson, get your computer. This is my boy.
Shout out to Gabriella because she was here last time we were on, and I really like her.
Oh, there she go. Yeah, I was wondering where she was.
And thank you all. I love that name, by the way. We should always be growing. If somebody tells you I've already healed, they're lying. Because anybody healing knows that this journey does not end.
That's my boy BC, man. I've been trying to get BC to come on for a long time, and people don't know this. This brother writes children's books. This brother has a website where he talks. I've actually wrote some stuff on his website about the NBA when I used to watch basketball. This dude is a jack of all trades. He has event space going on in the Bay Area where he does Transplant Tuesdays. He's got all kinds of stuff going on. And he ain't even from the Bay Area, but he got a whole bunch going on. So if you do live in the Bay Area, I don't know. Hey, BC, are you doing Transplant Tuesdays right now? I don't know if he's still doing it, but he was doing Transplant Tuesdays for people that aren't from the area in Oakland and San Francisco and San Jose, Vallejo, Richmond, and come out and do the, like social mixers and stuff. So he got a whole bunch going on. That's my dude, man. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Gabriella. I appreciate you. Hopefully I don't know if she was here when we first started, but come back early next time because we was getting it in early. But maybe you was here the whole time and just wasn't commenting. I don't know.
Gabriella, if you're on social media, please follow me on Twitter or Instagram because I would love to follow you back.
Yeah, man. Find us on Twitter and I'll be talking shit, but I don't mean it. But okay, so yeah, Bryson says he's not doing Transplant Tuesdays right now, but this brother's doing everything in the Bay Area with event space and event stuff going on. I mean, all kinds of stuff. So he probably gonna come on next time because we need to have him on here. But I want to thank everybody for showing up. We'll be said Kenney means it. Don't let him lie to you. Yeah, I'm dead ass serious. I'm dead serious. So yeah, man. And Jate, you supposed to come on too because we got an episode on the pod coming up about racism in wrestling too. So I'm gonna be getting at you about that too. So everybody, thank you for coming in. I've been talking too much. Highlight your boy. Vida, say bye, Vida.
Bye. Oh, my social media, Lifestar Media on Twitter. And on Instagram, it's Vida Star, VIDASTARR on Instagram. All right. Bye.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at Lazarus Lives X3. You can find me on Instagram. They call me Kenney. That's my name on Instagram because that's my name. And it's spelled Kenney, not Kenny, because that's how white people spell it. Just have to let you guys know. So you can find me on there too. But we'll probably be streaming tomorrow or the day after, something like that. So you guys, you'll see us here